I will have reports out to everyone later today, probably this evening. I'm going to go over the report now. Page 4 begins a summary, and we'll go through each item. So first category is items not operating. We've got several not operating, 3 of which are just because work hasn't been completed on it. So the first one, the disposal. There is no power outlet, no electrical outlet for the disposal, so there's no way to plug it in, have power for it to operate. And that also impacts the dishwasher because, again, we do not have power for the dishwasher. And then the dishwasher, the water supply has not been installed for it, and on the disposal, the cord has not been attached to it. So those are things that need to be completed. On the primary bedroom bathroom, the shower valve handle is missing. It's not been installed, so it wasn't able to operate the shower to see if it works. And in the primary bedroom, the ceiling fan and light, I could not get it to work. It's got a remote control, checked, it's got batteries in it. All the other fans I could get working with the remote control, but for some reason that one wasn't working.
Okay.
Didn't have any major concerns. So that's something that's failing, or is going to be a fairly significant amount of money to repair for like one item. Safety issues. The rear steps at the deck were not provided what is technically a graspable handrail. So that's a handrail, it's 1.5 inches. So that you can get your hands around it. It's just very simply a 2x6 board on top of it, which is too large to be able to handle. Garage interior, so the wall separating the garage from the house should be a fire separation assembly. Now when this house was built, this was not a code requirement, but the wall sheathing, so it would be like the drywall on a wall, the wall sheathing is made of a combustible material, and there's some areas that are missing. So for safety, I would recommend having that turned into a true fire separation assembly. Kitchen electrical, a little surprised on this one since it was a flip, but we have one reversed hot neutral electrical outlet at the east end of the island, so it's very simply that needs to be corrected. And then also, as a safety issue on the kitchen, none of the outlets are protected by ground fault circuit interrupter outlets, and any outlet that serves a countertop, no matter its location, plus anything within 4 feet of water, so that would include the one in the cabinet, the future one in the cabinet that would serve the dishwasher and disposal, all should be GFCI. Basement steps, they're open-sided, so don't have any guardrails on them, so someone could fall off. In the attic, there's an open wire splice at one of the exhaust fans that needs to be put into a junction box. And in basement electrical, we've got one junction box that's missing a cover plate. The switch for the power for the furnace is also missing a cover plate, and it's loose. And then there's an electrical outlet that's loose at the panel board. So all those things need to be corrected. So that's what I have for safety issues. Oh, one more, sorry. Scroll down the list. In the main electric panel board, we have neutral wires double lugged with other neutral wires and ground wires. Those should be separated. The neutral wires have to be on their own termination lug, and so they're not allowed to share. So they don't get along well with others. Deferred cost thing. So the water heater, which is not hooked up and not operational, was manufactured in 2008. So that puts it, at 18 years old. So that's exceeded what its typical life expectancy is. I actually, later on in the report, recommend that they replace the water heater and properly install it, along with an expansion tank for it, which is not present. And then the air conditioning condenser units, they were manufactured in 2016. And watching the truck, so it didn't hit your car, we're good. So that means they're about 10 years old. Mm-hmm. So average life, again, for air conditioning systems, about 15. So we're within 5 years of that. So just want to make everyone aware. Repair items, the deck, the rear stairs, we have joist hangers, and some of the fasteners, the nails, have not been installed, so we have open holes. All that should be installed. Exterior, we do have some brick damage on the front. We've got some cracked mortar joints, and then also on the chimney. So the chimney is actually used as the flue pipe for the water heater. The chimney crown is cracked. which is a concrete cap on it that needs to be sealed up so it won't get any water or moisture into the chimney itself. And then we've got brick that have the faces spalled off, so they flaked off, and then open cracked mortar joints. So again, all those things should be corrected so that we don't get continued deterioration of the chimney. Gutters and downspouts, we've got a couple gutters that, got one gutter that's holding water so it's not sloped properly, and it may be clogged as well. But also for improved control of stormwater, we recommend getting downspouts extensions on all the downspouts so we get water further away from the house. As I said before, siding, I've got a lot of pictures of the front of the house where we've got some mortar damage in the brick. And then we've got some trim that's damaged. And there's a piece of counter flashing missing at the front of the house with the roof. So we've got a picture of one side has it, the other side doesn't. So we're missing part of it. Missing some caulking, especially around some door thresholds that they're open. And then we've got some damaged screens and a screen that's missing. So all that kind of stuff can be repaired. Garage, the back side of the wall, you can see that the wall sheathing's damaged. It's a result of stucco, not having the proper wheat screed at the bottom, so moisture then is trapped in the wall and it causes some wood rot on the wall sheathing board there. Into the kitchen, dishwasher is missing a high loop drain. It's a real simple fix. This high loop should go to the underneath side of the countertop before it connects into the drain system, so that if for some reason the sink backs up, it doesn't back up into the dishwasher. And again, we said the electrical is not protected by GFCI. I'm actually going to make that a safety issue and move that up to safety so we can make sure that gets fixed. Laundry room, they haven't made any provisions to vent the dryer outside the house, so that needs to happen. Bathrooms, the second floor shared bathroom, that exhaust fan is loose. It's hanging down from the ceiling, and that needs to be repaired. And in individual rooms, the entry living room and the rear family room all have no airflow at some supply air ductwork. Downstairs in the basement, we've got pictures. You can see where the ductwork has been disconnected or wasn't installed for it, so that needs to be corrected. In those same rooms, they are using return air grills for the supply air duct. So supply air duct is going to have a damper on it so you can control how much air is coming through it. Return air doesn't have that, so they need to change those out. Also in the rear family room, all the wood windows were inoperable, and we have one window has a failed insulated glass seal present. That's the window that's fogging up. Second floor hall and in the stairs, all the balusters in the guards at the stairs are loose, so you can spin them around. So they haven't been completely installed properly. We need to have those fixed so they don't spin, and make sure they're all in the same orientation so they don't look weird. Primary bedroom, the door to the bedroom is binding up in the door frame, doesn't completely close. The door to the right closet is the hinges are binding up, so you can't close that door as well. Then we mentioned the ceiling fan not operating previously. The second floor rear bedroom, again, that door, kind of like the primary bedroom, is binding up in the door frame and doesn't close. And the second floor front bedroom, you've got a great closet, it's 10 feet long, but the closet rod and shelf expand at entire length and don't have any mid support. So under any kind of normal closet load, both of those are going to fail and fall. So we need to have some intermediate support installed for the closet rod and shelf. Attic. First one we talk about in the attic is the insulation. Very minimal. You've got maybe 2 inches, 3 inches in some areas. Far short of what we should have to meet code requirements today. So code requirements will require a minimum of R49, which depending on the type of insulation you use is either 14 to 16 inches. So I would recommend definitely having some improvement there for the attic insulation. You're going to get much better thermal performance out of the house. Also, attic access panels not insulated. Not too big a deal until the rest of the attic gets insulated, as well as doesn't have any gasketing and weather stripping around it. Life safety, we do have smoke alarms everywhere where we need them in the home, but we do not have any carbon monoxide alarms. So where that should go would be immediately outside of the rooms used for sleeping, as per the code says. So essentially the smoke alarm that is located in the hallway, second floor hallway, if that was changed out to a combination smoke carbon monoxide alarm that would meet that requirement. So talk about the basement. We've got some cracked CMU block walls that were part of the garage foundation. Would recommend having those repaired so they don't continue to move and keep water out of them. Also, we're missing where they did some wall bracing repair in the basement. There was one piece of blocking missing between floor joist. I have a picture of that location. And then just, you want to monitor your foundation. It has been repaired. I would recommend taking pictures or video of all the basement walls, so that way you have you know what the condition is when you move in, and in 5 years down the road, if you see something, you can always go back and check and say, okay, was that there when I moved in, see if anything's changed. We're missing insulation in the rim joist, so it's kind of the joist span that goes around the perimeter of the house. That'll improve the thermal performance of the house. And then there's a front window that's got a plywood panel that's infilling that window. There's a lot of gaps around it, so we need to have something that's weather tight and can seal that opening up, so we don't have wind, plants, pests, anything coming into that. There is a crawl space in the house. It is underneath the rear family room. There's an access panel on the outside that is permanently fixed. It's been screwed and nailed, closed. I wasn't able to open it up to get into it. We'd recommend making sure that is open so someone can take a peek into it, make sure we don't have any damage or issues within it. Plumbing system, like we said before, water heater's not connected to the water supply line, it's not functional. And then we're missing an expansion tank. So when they do get the water heater corrected, they should be installing an expansion tank as well, because that is a code requirement now. Recommend having the HVAC system, so your furnace and air conditioning serviced. It's pretty dirty from all the construction, so it needs to be cleaned. The filter is really dirty. Big emphasis on the really part of it. It needs to be replaced. And then this one's kind of odd, the air conditioning condenser unit. You normally am telling the realtors that the breaker is oversized for it. In this case, the breaker serving the condenser unit is undersized. It requires a minimum of 31.5 amp breaker. The breaker that's installed for it is a 30 amp breaker, so it's slightly undersized. So we need to have an electrician correct that. And then again, in the electric panel too, none of the circuits are labeled. So to help you guys out, would be great if they were all labeled so you know what they were. Don't have a radon mitigation system in the house. I am testing that. It takes 48 hours, so I will be back by on Friday to pick that up, and I will know what the test is when I arrive. It's a continuous read radon monitor, so it doesn't need to go to a lab. And then as far as termites and wood destroying insects, so I'm looking for termites, carpenter ants, and carpenter bees. Didn't see any evidence of those, so that's good news for you there. So big picture things, roof looks great, newer roof, foundation's been fixed and repaired, so those are all good. For the most part, the exterior stucco's all in great shape, just have the brick mortar joints that need to be fixed. And then really from the flip side, they have some details that they need to kind of tighten up and get things completed. So like I said, I'll have this out to you guys later today, but if you have any questions after you get the report, feel free to call me, email me, contact me somehow, and best of luck with your house.